Hi, in this video I will take you through the steps which have to be followed in order to rectify the errors which have been made by passing a single adjustment entry. Steps to rectify error when a single adjustment entry is to be passed. Let's go to the first step. The first step is to prepare an adjustment table of this format. In this adjustment table, there will be a column for particulars, a column for each partner, which further is divided into debit column and credit column, and finally a column for the firm, which again is divided into debit column and credit column. In this format of adjustment table which I am showing you, there are two partners in the firm, partner A and partner B. For each of these partners, I have opened a debit column and a credit column, and also finally I have opened a debit column and credit column for the firm, apart from beginning with the particulars column. So this is the first step to prepare an adjustment table of this format. Let's go to the second step. The second step is to analyze the error, and depending on the type of error, make a short note in the particulars column and debit or credit the partner and do the opposite for the firm column. To give you an example, where IOC or interest on capital was omitted to be allowed, we learnt that we need to credit the partner's capital or current account and debit the firm. So in such a case, in my particulars column, I will write allowing interest on capital. I will credit A with A's interest on capital, let's say ₹1,000. I will credit B with B's interest on capital, let's say it's 2,000, and I will add 2,000 plus 1,000 and put 3,000 under the debit column of the firm. Now on the other hand, where I have omitted to charge IOD of, let's say, 200 for A and 100 for B, I would write in the particulars column charging IOD or charging interest on drawings under partner A. In the debit column I would write 200, and under partner B in the debit column I will write 100, and I would write 300 under the credit column of the firm. This procedure is to be followed for each and every error that has been made. Make a note in the particulars column, and depending on the type of error, debit or credit the partner and do the opposite for the firm. The third step. Now in the third step, we need to balance the firm column. That is, we need to ascertain and insert such amount that will make the total of debit column and credit column for firm equal. For example, let's say the total of the debit column of the firm is 3,000 and the total of the credit column of the firm is 5,000. To make the two columns equal, we need to insert rupees 2000 in the debit column of the firm. After doing so, we need to divide this amount in the correct profit sharing ratio between the partners and insert it in the opposite column for each partner. That is, this rupees 2000 has to be divided in the correct profit sharing ratio of the partners A and B, and since it's appearing in the debit of the firm, the rupees 2000, after dividing in profit sharing ratio, we need to insert in the credit column of each partner. So this is the third step. Next is the fourth step. In the fourth step, we need to ascertain the net effect for each partner. When I say net effect for each partner, I mean that for each partner, we need to ascertain the difference between the debit total and the partner's credit total. Now, in case the debit total is greater than the credit total for any partner, that partner's capital account in fluctuating method and current account in fixed capital method is to be debited and vice versa. So let's say partner A has a debit total of 500 and a credit total of 400. So which means the net effect is 100 debit, which means where the fluctuating capital method is being followed, partner A's capital account has to be debited with 100, and where the fixed capital method is being followed, the partner's current account needs to be debited with rupees 100. Let's go to the final step of passing the single adjustment entry to rectify the errors which have been made. In the fourth step, we would determine which partner's capital or current account is to be debited and which partner's capital or current account is to be credited. And finally, by debiting and crediting the specified partner's capital or current account, pass the necessary single adjustment entry. Debit the partner's capital or current account whose debit total is higher with the difference, and credit the partner's capital or current account whose credit total is higher with the amount of difference. This would be the single adjustment entry which has to be passed to rectify the error. This stepwise solution is very theoretical and some students may not be able to practically apply it with the help of this video. So in the upcoming video, I have demonstrated all these steps together and solved sums for this concept of passing a single adjustment entry for rectifying errors which have been made in the past.